What is up, Domination Crew? It's Rico. You guys already know. Today we are going to be going over private label dropshipping in 2019, and it's going to be a step-by-step beginner's guide on how you guys can get set up and start making that money. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. I'm going to be showing you products that you guys can use and helping you as far as like your account setup and banks and everything else. So there's so much to cover, but it's not going to work the same way that it has before. So, years ago, you guys could get away just, doing the sole proprietor thing and all this stuff. But nowadays, it's beginning to get a little bit more difficult to just kind of come in and just make all that money and not have anything set up the proper way. So let's go ahead. Let's break into it and let's do what we do. So guys, first off, if you're trying to sell on Amazon, you obviously need an Amazon seller's account, right? You can't sell on Amazon without an Amazon seller's account, which I'm pretty sure that's common knowledge by now. Like, I don't know why in the world you guys would assume otherwise. Now, which one do you need? Do you need the free one or do you need the professional one? You need the professional one because the free one is limited in certain categories, all right? And it takes extra fees. So they may not charge you every month, but they charge you extra fees on top of listing. So when you sell, you're getting charged more and you're gated in certain categories. And nobody wants that. Like, do you really want to be gated in all these different categories? It's kind of stupid. So you need a pro seller's account. It's $39.99 a month, as you can tell right here. If you guys do not have the $39.99 a month, Amazon is not for you, okay? Amazon is not for you. You should probably stop while you're still ahead. I know that sounds harsh, but if you guys are in that big of a financial crunch, then I do not want you guys to put, a huge burden on yourselves, okay? Again, $39.99 a month. You guys need the professional account. You need it. Next off, if you so choose, you do not have to have an LLC, but we highly recommend it. Having a business kind of isolates you as a personal individual from, any kind of liabilities, lawsuits, just all types of things, especially when it comes to taxes. Having a business will benefit you greatly because you won't spend near as much in taxes. Now, as an S Corp, basically like a pass-through S Corp, our tax liability is 15%. Thanks to the person in charge of America right now, he lowered the business tax for small businesses, for certain business structures like ours. And instead of paying 30-something%, we pay 15%, which is really, really nice. So if you guys are doing $100,000 a month, would you rather pay 30% in taxes or would you rather pay 15% in taxes? Exactly. 15% is a whole lot better than 30-something%. Now, there's companies like LegalZoom that you can use. Guys, this also goes for international sellers. If you're an international seller, you will have to have an LLC in order to sell in America on Amazon US. Now, for your respective countries, you will not need to have an LLC, a US LLC, but in order to sell in America as an international person, you will need a business LLC. Okay, so let's get that out the way. Companies such as LegalZoom or InkNow have tons of services to help you. As you can see here, you'll probably spend anywhere from $149 all the way up to $300-400, depending on what kind of services that you need. For an LLC, you probably won't spend that much, but again, you can also sell on Amazon without an LLC, but we highly recommend that you get one. You can sell as a sole proprietor just by using your social security number and be just fine, but the tax liability is higher if you do that. For international people, you will need a legal business set up so that way you can sell on Amazon US, or you will need someone in the United States that you trust who can set up an account for you, and they're basically your proxy. Now, that takes us into, now that you have your business set up, your LLC set up, you will need a business banking account. And why do you need that? Well, it's good to keep funds completely separate. You do not want to commingle funds because let's say something does happen where a customer, heaven forbid, decides to sue you. Well, if you're taking in all that money into your personal account, well, congratulations, it's personal money. They can sue you personally and take that cash. A business bank account basically just isolates you from all of that buffoonery. Now, if you're an international seller, you may or may not be able to get a US business banking account, and that's okay. We're gonna solve that problem in a little bit. But for people who do get an LLC, it's highly recommended that you set up a business bank account. We have Bank of America. For ours, we absolutely love Bank of America. They've been really good to us. We have no issues whatsoever. And we use QuickBooks. As you can see, there's a seamless QuickBooks integration here, and it helps us keep track of all of our expenses for the year. So all the income from Amazon and, coaching or whatever else, all that is processed, through QuickBooks, and at the end of the year, we can give it to our accountant and make sure that the books are square. And having Bank of America really, really helps us with that. You guys don't have to have Bank of America. You guys can use Wells Fargo, you can use Chase, you can use whatever. We just use Bank of America because they've been really good to us, and our QuickBooks integration is perfect. Now, for you international sellers, right? You guys will use a service called Payoneer, unless you are in the Eurozone. So there are certain countries that you will not need a business bank account for. Countries generally in the Eurozone, such as, Germany, England, probably the UK, I should say. Let's see where else. I think France is another one. There's a few people in a few countries in the Eurozone where you can get away not having a US business bank account. But for the most part, if you are an international seller, you will need to use Payoneer. And Payoneer is a service that will basically forward that money to your bank account. So Amazon will pay, Payoneer, and in turn Payoneer will, pay you. That money will go into your bank account. I guess it's a service for international people. We don't use it because we're American sellers, so we don't have to go through all of that. And we do not sell outside of North America. We only sell on the American market, Canada, and Mexico. We do not sell in the UK, and we do not see ourselves expanding to that market anytime soon because we're fine right where we're at. So now that we've gotten all the boring stuff out of the way and things that you may or may not need, we're going to get into the things that matter the most, when it comes to your products and selling and making money. So you guys need a product research tool, first and foremost. When you're private label drop shipping or private labeling anything, whether that's FBA or drop shipping, you're going to need a product research tool because you're going to have to find products that will make money. You're not just going to take something and just throw products up and hope for the best. Generally, you want to research and make sure that you are finding good products, guys, that you are finding good products. Now, if you watched our other product research videos, you'll know the metrics that we go for. You'll know which products that, we tend to tell you guys to sell. We're going to get into that in a second, kind of show you guys something, a couple products that you can use, and why. So now that we have this is AMZ Scout. We use AMZ Scout Pro. It's a web extension. It's a Chrome extension. And I prefer it just because it's, bare bones. There's no frills. It does the job extremely well. And, being as I'm a software engineer, that's what my day job is. I know how their product works. Okay. It just works. It works. Their API calls are great. Their actual logic behind their tool errs on the low side of sales reports, so that way you have more of a true idea of what money you're going to be making. So think of tools such as Jungle Scout or Viral Launch, things of that nature, as like a DynoJet dyno. DynoJet dynos will always read higher horsepower because it's like running on a treadmill. All right. With a Mustang dyno, the readings are lower, but it's a loaded dyno, so therefore you get truer readings because there is a larger coefficient of friction because it is a loaded dyno. Now, if you guys don't understand that analogy, just trust me on this. AMZ Scout Pro is a good tool. I absolutely love it. Me and Dan use it all the time. This is how we do our product research. So now that you have your tool, let's go ahead and now you need to find your products. So I know that tactical bags sell really, really well. You guys are not going to know that right off the bat. It's going to take you a little while to understand what products move, which ones don't. I know tactical bags do very, very well. So now that we're here and we're scrolling through, like you'll see some of these bags, like Rebo Gear, these guys sell theirs from $40 to almost $100. These guys $50, $32. Like, so there's a lot of bags that these people sell that make that make varying degrees of profit. So as you can see, there's CV Life and Army Camo USA. This is obviously like a private label brand here. There's Pans, Leeson Tech, MP USA, Gowara Gear. So all these things, military outdoor clothing company, Effener, all this stuff, right? So now that we've seen these and seen various, price points between them. Oh, I have this right here. I still have my old green bag. I haven't gotten rid of it. Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, so there's the $26.99 is $35 here, $29.99. So we're going to go ahead and look at the profits that these people are making, or at least the sales that they're getting. Maybe not so much as all the profits. So this is AMZ Scout Pro, guys. This is a tool that I use, and I absolutely love it. I recommend it to all you guys. You do not have to use this tool. You guys can use whatever that you prefer. I prefer AMZ Scout Pro because it's very simplistic. It does the job very well. So we're going to go ahead and sort by estimated revenue. As you see, there's a potential score here of 7. Which says like, hey, this is a product that you can get into. Now, these military bags are a little bit more difficult to break into when you're private label drop shipping, but it is possible. These are more like FBA bags. If you're trying to go FBA right off the bat, not necessarily something that you have to do. Just don't expect to see $67,000 in revenue. Like if you guys, do list backpacks, you can expect to see, a couple thousand at first until your product starts getting ranked. And then when you convert over to FBA, you'll start seeing even more money because FBA products tend to get preference in the listings, and they will generally sell more because of the 2-day shipping. But when you're private label drop shipping, you will not have that option because you can't do prime shipping when you're private label drop shipping. It depends on where your suppliers are at. Now, you can do seller fulfilled prime if you have like a local supplier or like a US based supplier that can ship out really quickly. But that's something that you guys will have to look for. So with that being said, here it is. Rebo sells a lot of these. Look at this, 67,000. There's 40,000 for this particular bag right here. Very, very plain Molly system bag. You can put your patches on there. I probably need to get another bag so I can, put my patches on, stuff like that. Here's CV Life. Their bags is 35,000, 26,000, 22,000. When you're private label drop shipping, you don't necessarily have to go for the biggest numbers, right? So you want to be somewhere in here initially. You want to be on the lower end. If they had like $1,000 or something like that, they'd probably be even better. But you want to be in the smaller range when you're private label drop shipping, because you're not going to have one product. You're going to have dozens of products that are going to make up the bulk of your money. So some products are going to sell maybe 5 a week. Others are going to sell 500 a week. You want to find a happy medium. Now, apparel generally sells very well, bags, things like that. People just tend to buy those more often than anything else. That, as well as toys, action figures, things of that nature. They tend to sell pretty well all year round. But you don't need to do big numbers like this. You don't need to do 67,000 with one product. That's what you have to get inside your head. Just stop the whole, FBA thing where these gurus are telling you that you need one home run product. It's much easier to make $100,000 with multiple products than it is with one, because that one product you have to get right. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It has to be perfect. And more often than not, those products will not be perfect. Private label drop shipping, you spread that out across, your entire product line, and then you don't have to sit there and think about it near as much. If one, like some of our products do not move. Some of our products move, I can't say don't move, but they move very infrequently. We might only get 5 sales a month for some of our products, but we have products that are doing 5 sales a day. So when you have 10 products moving 5 units each a day, you just did 50. Did 50 units for the day. So, just take that into account. This is why private label drop shipping is so powerful. It's because you're testing products, seeing what works, and then converting them to FBA. And you're testing products and making money at the same time. It's not like a Shopify store where you're just paying for advertisements and hoping for the best. With private label drop shipping, you don't even have to pay for ads because Amazon's traffic is so powerful, and it's absolutely free. So now that we know what we want to sell, now that we see that these numbers are looking good, the products are great, there's tons of money to be made in this niche. You want to find where you can sell them, where you can source them from. So here you go. Here's Alibaba. It's a wholesale site. You guys can come in and get your products. And as you can see here, look, the bags that we were looking at, this is a green one. Obviously, there's a different color. We should be finding it in black, but there we go, black bag. This is $3. People are selling these for, $30, $40, if not more than that. you know. So, God, man, this is going real slow. Sorry, guys. But, you know, you can see, you know, here's another bag. It's $6. This is 11. These people need to come down. This price is a little high in my opinion. You can get it for cheaper when you negotiate. So these prices are never the final prices. They will work with you. If you're like, hey, look, I want to place an order for, you know, 100 of these. Let's say you've been selling these bags. You've been private label drop shipping. You've been selling these bags, and you're doing 5 to 10 of these bags a day, right? So you know that you're doing really well. When you convert to FBA, you're going to obviously be buying in bulk and then sending them in. Well, you're probably going to be getting 2 to 3 times the amount of sales because of the 2-day shipping, and your listing will be prioritized. So even if you're on the first page, you know, when you go FBA, you'll be in the top, you know, one of the few top spots, and that'll really boost your sales up because people will see that, you know, you have 2-day shipping, and that's what they want. So as you can see here, you know, the price points are very good. You know, this $5.32. So there's a lot of profit to be made. You know, this bag right here, you know, they usually sling tactical bags do pretty well. You can get those, you know, they're saying $9.76. You can probably get these guys down to about $7.50. You know, if you're really, you know, selling a lot of these, you can come to them and say, hey, you know, I want to place an order for a few hundred. Let's get this down to, you know, $7.50. These right here, you can get under $10.90. Like these bags right here, as you guys saw, do really well. You know, the Molly equipped bags, you can get these for probably around $8.50 or so, you know, per bag. So let's say you get 100 of them, you know, that will pretty much only be anywhere from a 10 to 20 day supply for you if you're doing really well. But, you know, it'd be like $850. You always want to get, you know, shipped door to door. When you go FBA, you want door to door. You don't want to have to get like a freight forwarder and all this stuff and send them by boat and all this. If you guys are worried about the shipping costs that you have to ship between, you know, ship by air or ship by sea, and you're like, oh my God, it's that much more expensive to ship by air, then it's probably not a product that you should be getting into anyway. You should be focused on getting your products to Amazon as quick as humanly possible. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Even if they're making money, you want to be quicker than they are, because the quicker you are, the better chance you have at making money. All right, so now that we've gone through your, you know, what you need an Amazon sellers account. So now that you have your Amazon sellers account, now that you have your LLC set up, if you choose to do an LLC, you know, if you do an LLC, you have your business bank account. If you do, you know, have your LLC. So now you have your sellers account, you have your LLC, you have your business bank account. For your international sellers, you guys will have your Payoneer account. You know, now you know how to do your product research. You have your product research tool in AMZ Scout Pro. Now you found your products, right? You have your products over here. You're like, all right, I'm going to, you know, list these things or whatever. I'm going to list a certain amount of bags. Now, you know, how do you list those? How do you get those up? You're going to need UPC codes. Now, I don't get my UPC codes from eBay. This is just a suggestion for you guys. You know, if money is obviously a crunch for you guys, then I would recommend, you know, doing something like this, you know, going to eBay and getting your UPC codes. Like, I wouldn't personally. That's just me. I would not get my UPC codes from eBay. I am hardcore not doing that, just because, you know, for me, I feel that it's too big of a risk to take. You know, if you guys are trying to build a 6-figure business, right? And that's what we set out to do when we coach our students. We want you guys to build $100,000 businesses. It takes a little while, but, you know, you guys can get there just like we did. We want you guys to be as successful as possible. We don't want you to cut any corners or take any chances that are unnecessary. Now, will these UPC codes work? More than likely they will. Is it a risk that I want to take? No. Because what happens if they're inauthentic UPC codes, Amazon will detect that, they'll pull your listings, and in some cases, they will suspend your account. I'm not saying that this is going to happen for UPC codes that are bought on eBay, because a lot of people do buy their UPC codes on eBay, and they are perfectly fine. I'm just not going to risk my multiple 6-figure business on UPC codes from eBay. That's just me. You know, you guys may feel differently. It's perfectly fine. So guys, that's it. That is exactly what you need in 2019 to go ahead and get started with Amazon private label drop shipping. That is what you need, guys. I even gave you a product that you guys can start selling. Now, if you guys choose to, you know, to choose that product or not, that's entirely up to you. Obviously, people are going to see this video, but what we preach is that you bundle it with, you know, with an item, something similar to to that category. So, with those bags, something like 550 cord or carabiners or something along those lines, maybe hiking tools, survival kits, stuff like that would go pretty well with those bags. And as you saw, nobody was really bundling anything. So let's go back, let's close this out. Nobody's bundling anything. Look at this. Nobody has a bundle. Nobody's selling the backpack bundled with a like item. So you guys can probably come in here and disrupt, the lower end sellers. You can get on their cases and be like, hey, look, you guys aren't providing any real value. I'm here to make that happen. So with that, guys, that is everything that you need. If you can't, start making money with private label drop shipping, and obviously through this or with us coaching you, then this is not the method for you. This is probably not something that you should be getting into if you cannot make this happen. I just gave you all the tools necessary. Okay. So guys, that's it. Get out there, go make some money, make us proud. It's November right now, but you guys only have a couple months. You need to be ready for Q1 2019. All right. It's a new year. It's going to be a new you. Get out there, make some money. 2019 is the year for you guys to change your lives and make some money. And we want to see that happen. So this is it. This is everything that you need. Starting at the beginning, you need an Amazon seller's account. All right. You need a professional Amazon seller's account right here. It's $39.99 a month. If you guys so choose, you do not have to have this. You do not have to have an LLC. We recommend it because business structures help you with your taxes, okay? They will protect you in certain instances. So now that the man in charge of America has lowered business tax to 15%, in some cases, not in all, for us, we're an S Corp. We pay 15% as opposed to 30-something%. And believe me, 15% is better than 30-something%. Trust us. Once you have your LLC, you will come and set up a business bank account. Now, if you're an international seller, you will need an LLC. Okay, if you live in like not Trinidad, let's say you live in France and you want to sell on Amazon US, you will need an LLC. Plain and simple, you have to have one, and in turn, you will need a business bank account. If you do not have a U.S. business bank account, then you will need a Payoneer account if you're an international seller. For U.S. sellers, once you have an LLC, we recommend having a business bank account, because now that you have a business set up, why would you not have a business bank account? It makes absolutely no sense why you wouldn't. Bank of America is one that we use. We absolutely love Bank of America, and that's because we use QuickBooks. QuickBooks integrates very, very well for everything that we do, and it helps us make a lot of, I can't say it helps us make a lot of money. It just helps streamline our back-end processes so Dan doesn't have to do near as much work. Again, for you international sellers, you'll need a Payoneer account because you may not have a business bank account. Now, if you're in a Eurozone, you do not need a business bank account in most cases. You'll be able to use your bank account over in your home country if you're in the Eurozone. Once you have all that stuff, once you have your professional seller's account, your optional LLC, your optional bank account or Payoneer account, whatever, then you'll need your product research tool. This is it. AMZ Scout Pro is a tool that we use. We absolutely love it. This is something that you can count on time and time again. You will love this tool, and it works very well. We tell all of our students about it. Then you will need this, you'll need your product, obviously. So this is a product that you could use and, go from there. You don't necessarily have to have, you don't necessarily have to sell this particular product, but it is one that does very, very well, and then you'll need to figure out where you're going to source that product from. But you can source it from Alibaba. It's a very, very good place to find products. And then, of course, you will need your UPC codes, which are basically barcodes. These things right here. This is a UPC. All right. I don't necessarily recommend getting them from eBay, but you can if you're in a crunch if you're in a financial crunch, then you can go to eBay, get them cheap. For me, I'm not going to risk my six-figure business. I'm just saying that if you guys do need, that extra bit of help, then you can go ahead and do that. Also, one more thing. When you're getting your UPC codes, make sure you get plenty. Don't just kind of skimp on that. You don't want to just, get a handful and be like, all right, I got 10 of them. Like, you're going to need a whole lot more. Okay. A whole lot more than that, unless you only plan on listing a handful of things. Okay. That's it. That's really the basics. That's exactly what you need. you can get out there and start making money. Obviously we deep dive with our students, for a lot of the over the top things that they need, like how to do their keyword research and so on and so forth. But these are the very basic things that anyone can use to get up and running. Okay. That's what we want, for you guys to get up and running and make that money. This is what you need. Take this information and run with it, guys. You could literally start selling today, if you so chose. But, that's all I can do is show you guys the door. You're the ones who have to open it and walk through it. So make sure you guys check out the links below. Get into our free Facebook group. We're doing giveaways all through December. December 5th, we are going to be selecting 10 people in our Facebook group. We're going to be giving them $25 gift cards. Amazon gift cards, and then we're going to be taking 10 students and giving them $75 gift cards, because we really, really want to give back to you guys. Like, we love providing all this free value for you, providing all this content, but when it boils down to it, we also know that you guys need something tangible, and we want to help you out for the holidays. So that's why we're doing our giveaways. That's it. So be safe, be smart, make sure you take these tips, make sure you get selling, and we're going to catch you in the next one. Okay, guys? Peace out.